Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. This is the We Play It Forward segment where we spotlight changemakers using their platforms for purpose. And today's headline says it all. Play, purpose, and powerful partnerships. Two titans are playing it forward in the fight against Alzheimer's. They're going to be joining us in just a bit. Now, here's the topic that hits home. Alzheimer's disease affects nearly 7 million Americans, with 1 in 3 seniors passing away with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia. The toll isn't just emotional, it's financial, with over $360 billion in annual care-related costs. But through community connection and a little bit of competitive spirit, there's hope. That's where the We Play It Forward Foundation comes in, founded in loving memory of Susie Rosenblatt. It's more than a fundraiser, it's a movement. And it supports 5 incredible beneficiaries: the Alzheimer's Foundation of America, Alzheimer's Association Long Island Chapter, Gerwin Healthcare System, Mid-Island YJCC, and the Suffolk YJCC. Joining me today are 2 incredible forces behind this mission. Bruce Weinstein is a philanthropic powerhouse and an executive advisor dedicated to purposeful impact. And John Lee Esq is a founding member of Horn and Lee, former Queen's ADA, and a legal strategist representing some of the world's most influential corporations. Together, we're going to dive into this powerful partnership and how they've both been playing it forward. Welcome to the show, superstars.
Good morning, Zen.
Good morning, Zen.
So excited to have you. Bruce, I'm going to start with you. So fundraising rooted in joy, like golf tournaments and private concerts, silent auctions and raffles, has become one of the most effective ways to keep donors engaged. According to Giving USA, events that actually blend social interaction with mission-driven action can increase retention by 30% or more. So what inspired you to get involved with the We Play It Forward Foundation, and how has your role evolved since stepping into a leadership position?
So, Zen, I have always been an avid sports fan and participant, and I've run a corporate event for the past 20 years. And a year ago, John actually approached me and said, your event has a wonderful flow. Would you consider doing a charitable tie-in to this to elevate it to the next level? I immediately said, no, want nothing to do with that. After multiple dinners, conversations, I saw the light and I said, something? Everybody loves sports. And the reality is that people that get involved are passionate about things. And it's not the what, it's the who. You find passionate people, light a match, and wonderful things happen. And I unfortunately had a front row seat to seeing what Alzheimer's and, dementia does to a family, not only to the individual, but to the surrounding family. And I said to John, I'm in.
That's beautiful, Bruce. It's clear that for you, this isn't just philanthropy, it's personal. I mean, you've turned honoring a legacy into an engine of hope for so many families. So thank you. John, so excited to have you on, my friend.
Love to being here.
So your career in law spans everything from criminal prosecution to representing major international corporations. Yet here you are, lending that influence to a cause rooted in compassion and memory. What inspired you personally to support the We Play It Forward Foundation, and how has your legal background shaped your approach to philanthropy?
In terms of my background, I represent a lot of companies as outside general counsel, and I see Alzheimer's in terms of family members and in terms of every aspect of society being impacted by this terrible illness, which, unless you have a real loved one or family member impacted, you don't really realize the devastation that it causes the family and the loved ones surrounding, because it's a cognitive death, before the physical one. And in terms of being a lawyer, I have the network of influence that I could really cultivate and try to have the foot soldiers to support this foundation and the cause. So I'm very excited.
That's incredibly grounded, John. Bridging legal discipline with emotional intention. That's what legacy leadership really does look like. You're doing a great job. And I love your motivation. My grandmother's currently battling dementia at 86 years old. At this point, it might very well have turned into Alzheimer's, but my mom is her primary caregiver, and it is so hard to watch. It's devastating. And when it does hit home, you want to do something about it. So thank you for supporting us in this mission. Now, Bruce, many organizations fundraise, but few manage to build long-term emotional connection like We Play It Forward. It's not just about writing a check, it's about showing up. What sets this foundation apart from others you've supported, and where do you see it growing in the next 5 years?
The underlying theme is let's raise awareness and revenue for Alzheimer's. How do you do that? It's more than just writing a check. What we decided was we wanted to partner with sponsorship. We wanted to partner with participants to make the event, yes, all about Alzheimer's, but something that they want to immediately engage in next time. So that when they walked away from the experience, not only did they check the philanthropic box, but they had an experience viscerally that they connected to doing a play it forward type of an activity, be it golf or poker.
Yes, and that kind of vision makes donors feel like they're part of something real. Like you mentioned, it's clear this foundation isn't slowing down, it's scaling impact in every direction, and I'm so excited to be part of it. Now, John, families affected by Alzheimer's often face complex legal challenges, from power of attorney issues to long-term care planning, and sadly, too many fall through the cracks. So how do you believe legal professionals can better advocate for families impacted by Alzheimer's, both in and out of the courtroom?
I mean, the biggest problem you have is trying to solve a problem when it's too late, because you're talking about cognitive decline. So you're dealing with a situation where the person that is the decision maker doesn't have the mental capacity at that point to make the decision, and you have everyone with conflicting interest fighting for that decision making. And once you get to that point, then it just becomes a legal issue on many fronts. So I guess identifying the problem early and setting the groundwork and all the legal mechanisms to prepare for the inevitable is the key in preventing a lot of issues on multiple fronts. It could be the protection of the individual that is declining, as well as protecting the caregivers, because you're talking about a mental decline, there's a lot of challenges to that. There's accusations that could be thrown around because the person is in a dream state. So the person in a dream state is not thinking rationally, and they're making certain statements and certain accusations that has legal consequences. And unless that is addressed and you're able to anticipate things like that and make plans accordingly, you're always going to have problems. So that is a lot of the catch-22 and a lot of the situations that people are in that sends the legal ramifications, in a spiral position. Yeah. So I think preparing early for this condition and this situation is the key.
Now, Bruce, you've worked with donors at every level, from private philanthropists to corporate sponsors. And what they all want today is meaningful return on involvement, right? Return on involvement. What would you say to individual donors or potential sponsors who are still on the fence about getting involved?
I think the critical difference between what we're doing and possibly some of the other organizations is we are shifting from sponsor to partner. We really want to consider what can be reciprocal in an introduction, in an opportunity, in curating something that makes sense for that partner that may not be available elsewhere, where they're writing a check, they're getting a T sign, adios, the moment the event is over. Our goal is to keep their name in our world for the forward-facing 12 months so that when the event ends, the relationship didn't stop there, but it continues so that there, in fact, is value, because so many of the donors that are out there, and God bless the donors, they're very philanthropic, but they write a check, they check the box, that's it. If we pay attention to, in the spirit of Stephen Covey, fill in their rice bowl, how do we help them? How do we approach it from that lens? I believe that we then check the box of partner versus sponsor and continue a relationship at a much higher value.
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, transparency, impact, and heart, that's what people are looking for. And you've just made the case perfectly clear. Now, John, you've represented brands like Samsung, LG, and Bonchon, but Alzheimer's doesn't care about net worth. It touches every community, every background. What message would you give to fellow leaders in the legal and business space about why We Play It Forward is a cause worth supporting?
I think in terms of, especially for my clients that I represent, what I tell them is, you have to be philanthropic regardless of who you're supporting. I think that it is important, whether it's through our organization. I hope it's through our organization, but I think that in general, you have to participate. You have to get back to the community. There's great organizations out there, and We Play Forward. We collaborate with a lot of the great charity organizations, and we will be, building on our platform even more. But I guess business leaders, legal professionals, they need to get involved in philanthropy because that's the only way that they could give back, to causes, and the causes need desperately the support from the business as well as legal, as every aspect of society.
Yeah, you nailed it. When leadership meets compassion, movements are actually born. And I hope every CEO and managing partner listening heard you loud and clear, because it's important to urge people and to remind people that social activism is extremely important, because your community will always be there for you when no one else is. And that's the most important thing, to have that community or that organization to lean on. So you said it right. Well, we are officially at the end of our date, my dear friends. Thank you so much for coming on. I learned so much. I can't wait to kick this off. This foundation is incredible in every way, and the both of you have such a clear, direct mission on where you want this to go long term that I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be a success.
Thank you.
Zen, we appreciate you, and we're going to make it fun-fueling philanthropy and knock it out of the park.
And to our audience, if you're ready to get involved, visit WePlayItForwardFoundation.org to register for their upcoming Golf Classic event on August 21st at the Muttontown Club. You can donate or simply learn how you can help fuel hope in the fight against Alzheimer's. You could head to the Instagram page at We Play It Forward Foundation. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by the We Play It Forward Foundation. Tee off and give back at their annual golf outing August 21st at the Muttontown Club to fuel hope in the fight against Alzheimer's. Enjoy 18 holes, food and drink, a silent auction, raffles, and more. Head to WePlayItForwardFoundation.org to learn more. Register and donate.